Hi there. I just got done with a 5K obstacle / trail running course called Double Dash out here in Las Vegas. It's kind of like a mini Tough Mudder, so I feel like cooking something healthy. I'm going to finish up the Confit that I started. So the legs cured for a day, at which point I rinse them off and then pat them dry. And in the pot right now I have melted duck fat. It's already infused with thyme and garlic. I just take a head of garlic, split it in half, and a good handful of thyme, and I stuck it in the first batch of confit that I made. So I'm reusing this oil. This is the third or fourth time, and you can use this pretty much indefinitely. When I'm done, a little bit of juice will render out of the legs. So to keep the moisture, which could cause bacterial growth, I just decant the oil out. So oil sits on the top, the liquid's on the bottom. So I just pour out the fat slowly until I reach water, and then the water I just throw away. Now these legs are going to confit for about an hour and a half. I'm going to check them after an hour just to make sure they're doing fine. And you don't want the pot to ever reach a boil. So you can see right now that it's simmering gently. Now if the temperature is much higher than this, then essentially you're frying the legs and they're going to become tough and brown too much and become stringy and chewy. Now this is a perfect right where it is right now. So I'm going to stick it in a 300-degree oven, check it after about 45 minutes, an hour, and then go from there. So an hour's elapsed. I already checked the chicken, it's done. I'm going to pull it out of the oven. And I'll show you what you're looking for. It's bubbling incredibly slowly. You can see that. Take one of these pieces out. Now I cut the end of the thigh bone off, and the meat actually contracts and pulls back, so it cleans itself and makes for a great presentation. So a good amount of the fat rendered out. It's going to cause nice crispy skin if I choose to brown it. And then underneath you can see there's a little piece dangling. Good. Yeah, that's perfect right there. You can see it's just peel a little piece off, and if it's nice and tender then you're set. This is good to go. That's delicious. So I'm actually going to allow this to cool down in the oil. So I'm going to pull the oil off onto the marble countertop. It'll just help it cool down a tiny bit faster, so this guy doesn't overcook. And another thing I did, which is important, is I put this chicken skin side down before it went in the oven. If you put it flesh side down, then there's a possibility that the heat on the bottom is almost always hotter. So there's a possibility that it'll overcook on the surface of the bottom of the pan because there's direct heat contact. Now if you put the fat side down, that acts as a barrier from too much heat. So it just results in a nice cooked chicken thigh. So I'm gonna let that cool down. Now you can do tons of stuff with this. I like making salads with duck confit. It's really good. You can the easiest way to do it is to turn your broiler on and put a pan at the lowest area. If you put it up too high, then before the chicken evenly browns, it'll burn the skin in a few areas. So turn your broiler on, put a rack on the furthest away area, and then just put a pan down with the chicken in it. Let it broil away. You can do this in a hot saute pan too, but you also run the risk of the skin sticking, and when it sticks, it can tear off and burn on the pan. So I would just say, you know, either serve it as is out of the oil, nice and hot, or brown it with your broiler. And the fat you can also use, I mean anything. You can fry eggs in it, potatoes, a steak, what have you. It's delicious, and just treat it as if it was any other type of fat. So there we have it, duck confit.